is Nick. I'm going to show you how to get backlinks from DR90 plus websites with just content, no outreach, no PBNs, no paying for links, no spammy tactics. All of this stuff aligns with Google's guidelines and how Google wants you to acquire backlinks by publishing content that people want to link to. So just to show you an example, this is a page that we published for a client that has over 1,400 backlinks from 398 domains, and the domains are, DR90 plus domains, many of them, like entrepreneur.com, which is, a PR level tier 1 website, and then big CRM companies like HubSpot and Zoho. And these links are good for this website because this website is a sales consulting business. So they drive the proper type of authority that Google wants to see for a website like this to improve the rankings. So if we look at the impact of the website overall, by getting these backlinks, traffic has improved significantly over time, right? So the way to do this is to build content that journalists and bloggers are looking for while they write something. So in the case of this client, we went for sales follow-up statistics as our main keyword because during our research, we found that journalists and bloggers that we're targeting talk about the follow-up a lot. So that's step one, is research your audience. And your audience is not your customer. Your audience is the blogger and journalist that you're trying to get links from. So for us, that was the HubSpot, the Zoho, and sites like that. For another website, it might be, a different audience. Like in engineering, it might be websites like, FedEx's blog or manufacturing-based websites and blogs, and like researching what they link to and what they're trying to talk about is the first step, and then come up with a keyword that they may use to find that content. So as an example, if I were to go to, if I were to do this again, I'd look up best sales blogs because I like to get links from blogs and it's more SEO focused. But you could also do this with best sales news websites or best news websites for business, in general, and then look at what they link to. So we could just go to some of these lists and look through, what are some of the biggest sales blogs on the internet, right? And you can find those in a lot of these lists, and these will probably mention the popular brands. And then you can go and look at the blogs, right? So HubSpot was one of our targets for this. So we're going to go to the HubSpot blog, and then we can read some of their content, right? Like, for example, we have, a social media calendar. So they're writing a lot about social media here. So now it might be, something that social media business might be able to bait, right? But we could read some of these content pieces and see what they're linking to, right? So see, they're linking to a statistic here, right, already. So if we see this on a repeated basis, what we do is we open the link here. This is how we do our keyword research. We grab the link, and then we can put the link without the parameters into Ahrefs, and we can see they're getting a ton of links, right, already. So we can use this for our keyword research because we can click here in Ahrefs and look at what keywords the page is ranking for, and it looks like video marketing statistics might be a good target. Now, it looks like the difficulty is really high. This is based on links, so maybe we want to find a longer tail variant of that. So we can go in here and look in this terms match and see if we can find a keyword that identifies with, what kind of level the website's at. So we would want to target maybe longer tail versions of this. We can also put this into Google and see, and people also search for, like, what are some other ways people might search for this? Like, what are some of the top statistics? And how can we rephrase those for long tail searches? So in this case, they're looking at the 89% of businesses use video marketing as a tool. So phrasing this differently in one of the headers in our content might be something like, what percent of businesses use video marketing as a tool? Or even putting this as the header, because this might be what the journalist would search in Google, right? We have to jump in their shoes and figure out how are they going to search for the data. Because even if you don't rank for your head term, you can still get a lot of backlinks from the long tail variants of the head term that you rank for that aren't easy to pick up in tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush because the search volume is too low. And it's low because we're targeting a very niche crowd of bloggers and journalists who are looking for something to link to in their content because it helps them make their point. And I know, I'm a writer too, and while I write, I do this. I look for statistics to prove my point. I Google some like study or average or whatever statistic I'm trying to look at to make my point in my article while I'm writing. So if I'm writing about link building, I might Google like, backlink cost, right? And my company shows up for that right now. And I'm not going to reference myself, right? But just as an example, we would probably, other people may search something like this if they're writing about link building and want to talk about the cost of it, of acquiring backlinks, right? So I hope this is helpful. If you guys want to get on a call and talk about this stuff for your business, just click the button below. Otherwise, hope this helps, and I'm happy to respond to any comments in the ad as well if you need help with this and want to do it yourself. Thanks so much.